Welcome back to Crime Time with Jess. I'm not situated at all. Okay, the professionalism out the window. So, oh crap! I'm waiting for Synthia to come up here, and we are just going to have ourselves a open chat about whatever the heck you guys and we want to talk about. So, Synthia, there is the link, and I'll wait patiently, impatiently. Hi to whoever is in here. I don't expect this to be a big chat, and I'm not going to lie to you. I love smaller chats. Like, it's where you really get to talk to people and interact with people and stuff like that, and it's not so crazy and hectic, and everybody's comments are lost everywhere. So, hi. Waiting on my co-host. Waiting on Synthia. TikTok. If anyone has seen my banner that I put up, like if you could go ahead and give a nice critique, please. The ego is a little fragile these days. Sorry, that time of the month, yada yada. But if anybody has seen my banner on a scale of 1 to 10, like how bad is it? If you don't know what a banner is, like when you look on your phone, you go to YouTube, you look on your little phone, you look up somebody's channel. I gotta go to my channel. And then you see the banner, and then the channel, and then their little, my videos, blah, blah, blah. But I love my banner, but it's too small. And I don't know how to make it bigger. And I'm annoyed by it. So, but either way, if you guys have an opinion, good or bad, I want to hear it. And also advice and critiques. Because a person that cannot take either of those does not grow. Cannot grow what is not watered, right? Why is no one talking? Is everyone okay? Like, are you guys watching me ramble on, or what are you guys doing? I feel like 8 people are staring at me and I'm staring at them. Because nobody's saying anything in the chat. So I'm wondering, like, who are you and why are you staring at me if you don't want to talk? That's what this is. This is an open chat, okay? So what an open chat means is no topic is off the table. We can talk about anything you want. If it's a case, we can talk about the case. If it's something in your life, we can talk about that. It's just an open chat. So there's not one specific direction. It's just an open chat. Exactly what it sounds like. That's what it is. So I see that you're here. But I don't know. People, I guess, are typing shy tonight or something. I'm not sure. It's a little strange. I'm also wondering where the heck Synthia is. I told her that this is going to be a very small chat, and I love small chats. They work. I told her that this would. Oh, that's me. Oops. All right, I have to mute myself because I'm going to call her and harass her. She's supposed to be here. I don't know where she's at. Hi, Glory. Oh, hi. Yes. You know what? I want to talk to you. What happened today? I have to be honest that I did not watch anything or anything like that. So just what happened? Fill me in, Glory. You were at Chase Venstra's hearing. Did Hi, Mimi J2. I can't say long, but I want to say hello. Hello, thank you, and that's really cute. Glordella, what did you do you want to come up, by the way? If you want to come up and just tell us or tell me, that's if you want to. But if not, you can just type it. That's fine. Either way, I'm very curious to know what what happened. If you saw the prosecutor, if you spoke to them. Oh, yay, you're going to come up. Synthia has bailed on me. Synthia, I swear to God, I'm firing you. I mean, not that she ever worked for me, but I just want to sound like a tough guy right now. So you're fired, Synthia. Like, absolutely. And I'm totally kidding. I love Synthia so much. She's very good at what she does. Hang on. Okay, sorry. That was Cynthia. Anyway, she's having internet connections. No, I see you, Glory. Yep, I'm going to bring you up. Mimi J2, yes, we're going to hear from Gloria Dellin right now. She was at court with Chase Venstra today, so very interested to hear what happened with that.
Well, it's kind of a case of bad news, good news. Bad news is that there had another hearing which they seem to be trying to dispose of, and I think they rescheduled it for Thursday because of this other hearing, and so it's going to be Thursday at 1:30 p.m. and it will be streamed through, I think it's called WebEx, and I will look for the link for that Thursday morning when the court posts it and put that on my community page. So
Did
didn't
you get a chance to talk to the prosecutor?
no, he wasn't in court because of it being postponed. So
Okay.
he didn't show up. I was a bit confused when I got there because there was a guy in an orange Salt Lake County jumpsuit in a wheelchair at the defense table, and he had a shaved head, and I was going, that doesn't look anything like I imagined from the photos. So finally,
So that's what Chase Ventura looked like. He had a shaved head.
no, this was some guy named Ellis, and
Oh,
he was requesting a change of representation just as he was on the brink of entering or changing his plea on his case, and so that all the time spent
of
on that case was for naught.
entering or changing his plea. I'm sorry, Glory. Cynthia, can you turn off your YouTube in the background, please? Entering or changing his. Thank you. All right. I'm sorry, Glory. Please continue.
Okay. So anyway, the good news is that it will be available for people to view. Um, you have to click on a link, and there might be some letters to enter. I'm not sure. I'll do some inquiring about that
Did you
tomorrow.
post anything on your channel today about
I,
this?
I did a little minute and a half video on it,
Okay.
and because I knew that people were expecting a report, and so I wanted to say it's still coming. I did find out one thing from I was watching Scott Reich talk about the Lori Vallow Daybell
Oh
case,
yeah.
and he was talking about that it wasn't necessary for her to have a preliminary hearing because she'd been indicted in a in a grand jury proceeding, and that reminded me that Chase Venstra was indicted by a federal grand jury, and so the hearing is probably going to be more substantial than I initially thought, because I thought it was just going to be like Jim Brenner's initial appearance, where they just kind of established, yeah, there's sufficient reason to hold him over for trial. So um, this is, I think, will probably be a case of they'll they'll probably go into a teeny bit of the evidence, and why he should be not released on bond, and he'll enter a plea, I think. So yeah, it'll be a more interesting hearing. However, I won't get a chance to sit there and lay in wait for the prosecutor outside the courtroom. So that's a bummer.
Glory, we will pay you to do this. We will crowd surf right now. I will get Justice Janie on it. We will crowd surf, and we will have you camped out in the finest Airstream trailer we can buy. That you get this prosecutor, Glory. We're willing to do it. I am live broadcasting from the great studio of my garage. Cynthia, where are you at? In bed? No answer.
Mm.
Glory, where are you at? In bed?
I'm
I,
here.
I
I'm back.
I am
Oh.
sitting on my queen size bed.
Yeah, because it's late as hell, but we will somehow crowd surf these funds to get you camped out for that prosecutor. Because I love that idea of asking that question to him, because it is important. It's so important. And I don't feel like people are really honing in on the importance of that. It's it's very important in my opinion.
Well,
Cynthia,
yeah, it's huge, and
it's huge.
since they made a
Well,
mistake,
let's explain instead of just keep saying, it's huge, it's big, it's blah, 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 blah. Let's explain what you wanted to ask the prosecutor at Chase Venstra's hearing today, Glory, and why.
okay, in the charging documents when he was indicted, it the evidence cited a search warrant. In They were looking for evidence in association with a homicide, and the search warrant date was it was executed on June 12th. And we know that Dylan is a missing person, not a homicide. And so initially they had the date as May 12th. And so I thought, oh, there's another body somewhere. And so they messed up the date. Did they mess up
There
and
was a
tell the
typo.
truth what they really think has happened to Dylan, that they really think he's a dead body? But, we can't officially say that at this point. So, I want to get some clarification on that, and I might do some checking on.
The clarification, sorry for my coffee. The clarification is this, is that there was paperwork put out on Chase Venstra that said on May 12th, which would be prior to Dylan going missing, that there was a search warrant executed on the property belonging to Chase Venstra in conjunction with a homicide investigation. So some people looked at that and said, is that the correct date or is that a typo? Is this really about Dylan? And they said May instead of June. It turns out that's exactly what happened. And they made the correction. So Chase Venstra, his property on June 12th, which Dylan went missing on May 28th, on June 12th, Chase Venstra's property was searched. There was a search warrant executed there on June 12th.
Yes, I
But
understand it
in the
was on.
paperwork,
Oh.
he was not named a suspect. But at his hearing today that Glory was at, she was hoping to see the prosecutor outside and just ask about that. So that's why we are talking about that. Go ahead, Glory.
Yes, the property that was searched is his motor home, which as I understand it, which was, I think, in I can't remember the name of the place. It leads me. It's Clear something, and I should know it because I drive past it all the time.
Think, Glory, think.
Okay, let's do Google. We'll do Clear and Utah, and it'll come up with it. Clear. Let's see.
No, you're fine. Just go ahead. We don't have a million people in here. It's fine. It's just us. And again, I love these smaller chats. All the bigger channels come in and watch this, and they take it and they run with it. Or the originators, people.
Clearfield.
The what?
It's Clearfield.
Clearfield. Okay.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, and that was in Davis County, which is the county just north of me, and he's being held in the Davis County jail. And Jim Brenner he was in the Box Elder County jail, but was moved for some reason to the Weber County jail. So he's there, and then Robert Aviles was in, I think they said he was in Tooele County when he was arrested, but he was extradited, or he waived extradition, I think, and is in the Elko County jail.
Yeah, I know that he was originally booked into Box Elder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was he? Okay.
I actually called the night that he was booked in.
I remember reading about that he was arrested in Wendover, but that he was booked in Box Elder, and so I thought that a little curious, but it could be.
Yeah, now he is in Elko.
Yeah. So
and just to be clear for people, it might not be clear for some people still, that Box Elder is on the Utah side, the Utah where Lucin is, where Dylan's ranch farm was. And then Elko County Sheriff's Department is on the Nevada side.
Yeah, it's the northwest corner.
Yeah, I know that seems really basic, but there are a lot of people that are still coming into this case that don't know the basics and don't know like those those basic things. And so I feel like it's still important to say that because unfortunately, we are a couple of months in, but that's with as big as this case is getting, that's not really a lot of time. More people will start to pay attention, which will be good for Dylan. The more attention for him and his case, the better. Unfortunately, that comes with negative attention at times. Don't want to go too much into that because, Glory, I'm enjoying what you are sharing with me about Chase Venstra's hearing today. which is a person of interest or was. Um, and then Cynthia, you are super quiet.
Oh, I'm just taking it all in. It's just interesting that he's been named, that James Brenner has been named an official suspect, but Chase has not yet, and that
Yeah.
nothing further has been like uploaded onto the database for court documents. Well, I checked earlier, like this morning, and I didn't see anything. So there might be something now or something tomorrow. But it's just interesting to me that it seems like the situation with James Brenner has been progressing a lot quicker. And also, I'm wondering if the court documents were basically saying that he's being investigated for homicide, and if it is related to Dylan, I'm wondering what was found that would indicate that. Was there something found in his RV? Like, obviously, we don't know, but
well, it's interesting because the search warrants have been sealed. Marcus Ortiz of KTVX has been trying to get a hold of all the search warrants, and he's curious, like I am, about this mention of the homicide on that particular search warrant. And every day he checks, and every day it's not available. And at this point, it should have been, at least 2 weeks since it should have been released. So, he's pretty sure that it's been sealed. And that's a pretty interesting detail in my opinion, because there's something fairly significant. And I would say it's beyond just weapons, because they detailed all the weapons that were found.
yeah.
It probably has to do with the fact that the grand jury was meeting at the week that Jim Brenner had his hearing, and grand jury proceedings are secret, and they still haven't filed the state charges on Jim Brenner that the prosecutor was mentioning in the second of those two hearings. And so I think that means that the federal grand jury, or the state grand jury, is probably still meeting and going over things on probably a weekly basis. So,
Lori, probably, but do you not think that there's really no rush for them to lay charges
no.
with Dylan on Brenner yet? He's there.
No.
He's in jail. He's not going anywhere. No real reason to lay these charges yet, and unfortunately, I have to be realistic. But I think what they are looking for is remains. And that will sort of seal the deal of if remains are found. I expect charges to be laid immediately.
Yeah, as soon as you file charges, that starts the clock going.
It starts the clock
and
of the legal process, and that you can't stop. So with him already in federal custody, no bail, he's not going anywhere. He's got these gun charges against him. They have time, and they need time, because this desert is so vast. It's still my opinion, Glory, Synthia, I don't know how you guys feel, but it's still my opinion that they're gonna have to find Dylan. Or I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. They're gonna have to have someone tell them where Dylan is, because I feel like it's too vast. I feel like he could be. It's like a needle in a haystack.
They could easily have taken him, all the way over towards Reno and dropped him in a mine over there when they were searching for Susan Powell. They did a mine search in Ely, Nevada for her. And so, you're looking at the same basic situation with Susan Powell as with Dylan and where he might be. So
yeah, and she was in Colorado, I believe, correct?
No, she disappeared from West Valley City, which is her house is probably about I'd say maybe 7 miles from me. And
What state though, Glory?
it's in Utah.
Really?
Yes.
Why did I think Colorado with her?
There's been a lot of other cases in
Where
Colorado.
was her father-in-law? He lived. Where did he live?
Washington State in Puyallup.
Okay.
And they were both from Washington originally.
Yeah, maybe that's, I don't know.
Now there's so many cases coming out of Colorado. I think you just kind of got the location mixed up with one of those.
Possibly Suzanne Morphew on the mind with that. But yeah, Susan Powell. I think that's a case that you never forget either. Sorry that I got the state mixed up. It's just there's a lot of cases. But the meat and the potatoes, so to speak, of the case are very difficult to ever forget, if ever.
Yeah. Now, if we go back to the clock starting when you have the charges filed, that was one thing that Scott Reich was talking about in the Lori Vallow Daybell case, because they apparently have a piece of key evidence that they need to do DNA testing on. And now they've got a trial date in January, and they had to postpone that, which could be an issue for her speedy trial, because she didn't waive her right to a speedy trial.
I know, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? She plays so many games. That woman is the master of games. She's the master of games.
Yeah.
I mean, Chad Daybell is an awful, awful man. And she is an awful, awful woman. And what both of them did, killing their spouses, killing her children, allegedly. Let me not get myself sued here. Allegedly. Because they have not been convicted of it. But I will tell you, there is a giant mountain, majestic mountain of evidence against these people for this case. If you ever decide, and if you haven't, to look into the Vallow case, put a seatbelt on, put a helmet on, strap yourself in. You're going to need it because it's a hell of a ride, and it's a very bumpy and unpleasant one. Okay? With a bunch of twists and turns and loop-de-loops. That's what you're going to go through in that case. And it's still not even over. This case I've been watching. Lori, when did this case start? 2020?
It was pre-pandemic.
Was it 2019?
I think so.
Okay. It's really been that long, and we have not made it to trial yet. Lori Vallow, with her incompetency, she had competency enough to orchestrate the murder of her husband and both of her children, and a wedding,
and Chad's wife,
Tammy Daybell.
and probably
but she
her
did
brother
not have the wherewithal to understand in a court proceeding simple terminology. So, interesting person, liar to the core. And since I see the chat moving in a Dylan Rounds direction, let's talk about liars. Let me ask both of you a question, and let me ask the chat a question. Is a half-truth or a lie? What say both of you? What is a half-truth? Just a half-truth or a lie?
Well, I'd say it's the half empty, half full thing, because it depends on, if you can bootstrap it to prove something else or to disprove something. So
Cynthia,
I feel
what
like
say you?
it's potentially not wanting to share too much because maybe you know too much,
I
or
love
kind
how
of leaving
you're
it
like
open ended.
prefacing with potentially like already. Like you're like a pro YouTuber already. Like potentially it can mean this. I am here to tell both of you that it's a lie. There is no such thing as a half truth. A half truth is non existent. A half truth is a lie. There is only truth and untruth. There's nothing in the middle.
Well, yes, but you.
Can I answer this
My
question for
opinion.
Justice Janie real quick?
What?
Do you guys mind if I answer it real quick? So
No, yeah,
Justice
go ahead.
Janie or Janie,
Justice Jamie, yeah,
she
she's
said, why
awesome.
would Dylan why would just or why would Dylan have to get a ride if he has a truck? So Dylan's personal truck was at his camper 5 miles away from the grain shed. He had to take his grain truck to the grain shed. So he would have needed a ride back to his camper. But it seems like whatever happened to Dylan happened, or it appears at least, happened at the grain shed. So it does seem kind of like weird that anyone would suggest that he got a ride, I guess. If his boots were at the grain shed, obviously something happened there, correct? Why would he get a ride after with no boots?
Yeah, it just makes absolutely no sense. His boots are
It doesn't.
everything. They're just everything. I'll never be able to say enough that those boots tell their own story. They just do. Do I think it's a story that Dylan ran off to Mexico? No, that's not my opinion. There are people that have that opinion, but I do not share it. Those boots tell probably a very heinous story, to be honest with you. To remove him, or for him to remove those boots, there had to be a significant reason for that to happen. You would not be at a grain shed and just decide, guess what? I'm going to take my boots off and just have my socks on. You're not going to do that. Either somebody forced you to do that, or you did that to use as some sort of shield weapon against someone that was potentially attacking you. What I find very interesting is this. James Brenner, being named as an official suspect, had sufficient time to absolutely rid of them boots. But he did not. He did not. And I don't know if it's being pinned on him that he absolutely committed this. I just know that as of this moment, he is the only person that the FBI has named as an official suspect with evidence pending against him. So, those boots, why would you leave them in such an open place, so close to your trailer, so close to the grain shed, just right out there in the open? Something doesn't feel quite right to me about that. I don't want to
I've
introduce.
always struggled with that.
Yes.
I agree. I've always struggled with that because I feel like it's either possible if, let's say, that James Brenner did do this and we find out he definitely did this and more information comes out to confirm that, and he did it alone. I feel like maybe it's possible that he was doing something with, hiding Dylan, I guess you could say. I really hate saying that. I feel bad saying that.
No,
But
we're talking
disposing
true
of
crime.
Dylan, and it was an afterthought. He forgot about the boots and threw them out there because he realized like the family was going to be there any minute. Either that, or I feel like maybe Dylan was taken away from the grain shed area in a vehicle and the boots were taken back there and thrown
But
behind the dirt pile.
it seems like, I know criminals are dumb, but it seems just over the top dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you're really going to put them there of all places. You wouldn't at least even try to hide them under the camper or somewhere, or get them out of there somewhere, or even bury them, attempt to bury them just out in the open, just like that. That doesn't feel right to me. There's something not right about that scenario.
Is
Glory,
it
what say you with that?
I've heard suggestions that James Brenner is being framed, and the logical person to be framing him would be Chase in that case.
Yeah, we've heard that too. I
Yeah,
wonder if we heard
I've
from the
heard
same
that as
place.
well. The framing thing. I don't know that he was framed. I just don't believe he was alone.
No, I don't either.
But then it still does leave the question. If he wasn't alone, that mixes in another person or even possibly a third person, and all three of these people left those boots right there. I that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. It doesn't fit. And if it doesn't fit, I don't know. Should I go to the OJ trial? Like, you must acquit if it doesn't fit. You know,
Well,
Well,
one thing I
is it
would ask is how long had those boots been there when they were found? Have they just been tossed there before they, an hour before everybody got there? Um, let's say James, Chase, and Robert are all involved, but Chase wants to make it look like it's all James, and so he tosses the boots over there, knowing that the
you don't think that James would have recognized them?
well, he might not have had time to,
Oh, no, no,
you
no,
know.
no, no, no. Hang on a second. E.F. Hutton, interesting name, by the way, Grayson. I want you to tell me what I'm missing here, if you will. Not obligated to, but I'm asking a question. You're making a statement. I would like to ask a question. The question is, well, your statement is, ask any Marine. They will tell you why the boots are left. Pay attention. I am paying attention to you. So please tell me what that is. Is that a message? Is that what that is? I'll tell you about a Marine if you want to know. One that's in my family. One that you probably know of. Ira Hayes. Ira Hayes is my great grandmother's first cousin. I am Pima. Well, that's quite the statement. Would you like to come up? I'll put the link in the chat for you if you would like to come up, because I feel like, you're like, with the boots are a trophy. That's serial killerish. And with this, you are not the first person, Hutton Grayson, to state this. The boots are a sarcastic FU. You will never find him. You are not the first person to say that. That's why I asked you, do you think this was a message? It seems incredibly dumb to leave these boots there when he had time, James or whoever else was there, to dispose of them. Why would you leave them right there? Does that make
well,
sense to anyone?
is it also possible though that whoever did this because like threw the boots back there because they thought that maybe it would make other people think that Dylan just wandered off bootless?
Potentially. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for what's his name, Hutton Grayson. You can click on that. You don't have to show your face. You see that Synthia and Gloria, neither one of them are on cam. You don't even need to be on cam, but
I'm
just to hear you instead of the texting, it helps better for people to understand. So, and people are asking for you to explain. They would like to hear this theory from you. So, E.F. Hutton Grayson, I have told a person about the case. A Marine told exactly what that means. Please come up. I'm going to ask you again. If you click on that link, it will bring you up to my queue and I will be able to bring you on. Again, as you see, Glory and Synthia both are not on cam. You don't need to be either. But we will be able to hear you and hear what that means. If you stay up here for 2 minutes or 20, it doesn't really matter. Hi, sweet. How are you? Good to see you.
We
Good
can't
to
forget that James Brenner was also seen wearing Dylan's hat. I mean, we really can't forget that.
Yeah. Oh, E.F. Hutton. Sorry. I'm so sorry. See, I do this all the time, you guys. I'm a woman. Okay. I apologize. LOL. I don't have my makeup on. You don't need it on, sweetheart.
Neither do I.
I need a lot of makeup on right now. Do you see that I'm worried? No. We are talking about a missing person, not about a beauty contest. So nobody gives a crap about that. But I might come up in the future, though. You do not have to show yourself. You do not have to be on camera at all. Again, as you see, these two ladies here are not, they're not on camera. So, but I would like to hear that. I think I know what you're gonna say. But I still would like to hear it.
Well, I found an article which is talking about boots and being left in the military, and says throwing boots means more than saying goodbye. It says that it means the person no longer has any need of those boots. And so I think that it's, kind of the trophy.
Okay, Glory?
Hmm?
You all right?
Me? Yeah.
Okay. I just know sometimes things are hard to talk about, and you kind of got a little stop there for a minute. So I just want to make sure you're okay. Yeah. I had a feeling what this person was going to say. I just would have preferred them to say it. Oh wait, that is not what I thought they were going to say. So I'm gonna highlight the comment. E.F. Hutton Grayson. The Marine also said best place to hide a body is in the desert. Desert spelled with one S, but probably. Hey, K on the case. How are you? Hi, Des. Traveling, just catching your life. Yay, so good to see you. So good to see you. And so good to see Sweet. I'm happy to see both of you. But go ahead, Glory.
Well, on E.F. Hutton, the desert is one of the best places to hide a body, and they always say around here that there's more bodies hidden in the West Desert than anywhere in the United States. I'd say that might not be true. That might be more towards Texas, but maybe it's because of the traffic passing through on the way to and from California to other places that it's a popular dumping ground.
It really is. I mean, if you're speaking from a true crime perspective, it's like the perfect place. It just truly is. There's not a lot of law enforcement. It's extremely vast. It doesn't take as much. Like if you're gonna dig in dirt to actually bury a human being, you're gonna have to go 6 feet down or even further if you can. But in the desert, that's not the case. You can go 3 feet down and be equally the same. Plus, there's so many different places to do that at. The vastness. Gloria, I don't know if you were following Summer Wells' case at all.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you know exactly how the terrain affects so many things. And I find it interesting that with Summer's case, the terrain is vast in the way of trees and brush and thickness. I visited there. I saw that place, and just within seconds, I instantly knew this kid was not abducted. Something happened to her in that house. There's nobody's going up through all of this stuff to snatch a child they don't even know is there. And then in Dylan's case, it's the same thing. The terrain is going to play a large part in this, but in the complete opposite way. That while it's vast, there's nothing there. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack where everything sort of looks the same.
And you don't even need to bury the body. You can just cover the body with sagebrush and other stuff, and whatever
Let
you
the
can find.
animals take care of it.
It doesn't
It's
even necessarily need to be covered at all, though, because I've heard of
yeah,
a lot of like missing person cases where they wandered off or went for a hike in the desert, and like literally it was searched over and over again, these areas, and they were found like 5 years later, not too far from where they had like wandered off to. And it was just like bones left, but still, like, they weren't buried or anything. They were just like on top. So it's
yeah.
just like
Honestly, I don't really want to say this, but I'm going to because it's a true crime channel. But the best way to bury a body is not to. The best way to get rid of a body is to leave it to the elements and the birds and the wildlife.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing, but it really is the best way, if that is a term. But it is. People do all of these wild things. They try to dismember, they try to burn and do all of these things. And the best way is to do really nothing. Sort of cover them slightly, obscure the view, and the wildlife takes care of it. And this is what I think really bothers me with Suzanne Morphew's case, is because I feel, I know a lot of people have a lot of theories on that case, but I really feel like Barry Morphew knew animals so well. He was a hunter. He knew their patterns. He studied them. And I think that he knew the best way was to let them do what they do. And it's so sad to me, because if that is the case, Suzanne Morphew might be found in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, a small bone, a fragment, a something.
There was a case several months ago where somebody went missing. I think it was in Idaho, and it's been like 50 years, and they just now finally found the body. And the family hasn't known all this time what happened. The guy went hunting, something happened to him, an accident or something, and he died, and they just barely found his body after all this time. And that's, it's pretty much the same kind of territory. Sagebrush, wide open spaces, going to be the same critters in the area and so forth. And out there, if you're not looking in the exact right location, the body could be there, and you could be, assuming that the odor of decay is subsided, you're not going to be aware of it. You could be 20 feet from it, be completely oblivious.
I think what Allie said is perfect to describe Barry Morphew, which is hunter, tracker, landscaper. Just 3 words, perfect words. That's exactly what he was, is. Synthia, I know you're not aware of these cases, and I want you to be in this so badly. So if we want to go ahead and go back to Dylan's case we can. Or I will say this because this is an open chat. So, Cynthia, is there a case that you have just followed in the past? And I don't think I've ever asked you that. Like as many times we talked and things, what was the case that really sucked you in? The one case.
Okay, so as I've told you before, cases that involve children, like I can't even look into. I don't. I stay away from them. It bothers me so deeply that I
Me
just
too.
can't even look into them. But two cases that have stood out to me would be Matthew Weaver's disappearance and Bryce Laspisa.
I have never heard of either of them, so that's really interesting. Could you give just
Yeah.
a brief overview of both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Matthew Weaver, he went missing in California. Sadly, his dad had like a mental breakdown over him. He never really gave. He had spent the night with this girl. Well, not like spent the night. They stayed awake talking all night long in his car. And she
So like
said
the
that,
lovers thing.
yeah. So then I guess he went to like someplace in Malibu where you can like see this viewpoint or something after he left there. He said he was going home or something like that. It just didn't like add up to like why he disappeared, but he ended up going and parking on this hillside in like the Malibu mountains. And car was found like on this trail, but the way that it was found, it was like drove beyond the point that you're supposed to, and the back wheel ended up kind of going like into a ditch, and the car wouldn't have been able to make it out. But he just disappeared, like without a trace. And then, oh goodness, I just received a message in private chat. Jess, do you see that?
Ye-
Who is
oh,
that?
Jody Sue Brown. Wash your see you next Tuesday. Female dog. I smell your P asterisk. I'm doing all this because they just spelled it out. Do I believe this is Jody Sue Brown? No. um, but yeah,
Oh
that's
goodness,
the
that
private
was
chat
shocking.
right now. It
So
says
as
wash
I was
your
talking, it like popped up on the screen, and it kind of shocked me. I was like, "What is this?"
yes,
I thought it was you,
down.
Jess, because I didn't know that people could send messages in private chat. I was like, "Why are you saying that?"
No, I would never say that.
I saw it said Jody Sue Brown. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if other people are trying to come up. No.
Oh,
So
it's because the
they,
link is
they
in the
had to just
chat.
pop in and just like randomly say that.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's wash your CUNT, I smell your PU, blah, 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 Y. So that's nice. Um, anyway, carrying on. What was your other favorite, or not? I don't want to say favorite, but what was the other case that really drew you in?
So the other one is Bryce Laspisa. He was going to college away from home. I believe it was like a 2 hour drive. It's been so long since I've looked into it, but it was a 2 hour drive from home, and apparently he was using a lot of like Adderall before he passed away, and he was mixing it with alcohol, which is obviously not a good combination. But he got into an argument with his girlfriend. She took his keys from him and was like, "You're not leaving." Well, his mom ended up calling his girlfriend and was like, "Well, give him his keys back. He says he's fine to drive and he sounds fine." So he drove off, and he told his mom he was coming home, and it's a 2 hour drive. So, like, I swear it was like 6 hours or something like that passes. And she's like, "Okay, this is weird. Where is he at?" So she calls him, and he didn't answer, but ended up finding out, like, because he was using her card or her account or something, she found out that he got roadside service because he ran out of gas. So the roadside service, she contacted them, and they were like, "Yeah, we were out there hours ago to put gas in the car. So let me go back and check on him." So he went back there, and like Bryce was just sitting in the car with like the car running and like straightforward. So like he'd been sitting there for like 4 hours, like just staring off into space with the car running. So the tow truck guy ended up handing the phone to Bryce and was like, tell your mom that you're heading home. And he left him again. So then apparently this happened twice. He ends up going back again hours later to check on Bryce. Bryce is still sitting there. So after that, I think it was like the next day, the car was found like flipped over off a cliff, and he wasn't in it. There was like blood around, like a couple drops of blood around the vehicle. His backpack was in there, his phone, everything that he would have had on him. And he still hasn't been heard from since. It was at Lake Castaic, I think it's called. I'm saying that right?
That's interesting. I've literally never heard of either of these cases, but obviously somebody in the chat definitely has. Alley Cat is saying in your private chat, ? Doubt it. Oh no, that was definitely in the private chats. But she's saying, but semi-believable scapegoat at this point. Pretty horrible voice for Summer at this point. Yeah, it's, I don't believe that this was her, but it is what it is. It's most likely somebody trolling, or whatever. So, you know how people are, but yeah, it was in the private chat. There's the private chat. And then there's the thing, if you could see it or not, I don't know. But I really don't believe that was actually her. So, but either way, just somebody that clicked a link and tried to come up here and say some crap or whatever. Who knows? But either way, Curly Kate, she seems to know about the Bryce case, Synthia.
Oh, yeah. I think the police checked on it as well, but I think it was like a roadside service the first time. So maybe it was the police the second time.
Okay. Yeah, because it says the police had checked on him and made sure he was sober and they thought he was okay. So that's really kind of weird. I think I want to look into
like
this
7 years. This was 7 years ago. He still has not been heard from since.
That's the saddest thing. Like, as a person that has followed Summer's case from the beginning, like, I so fear this. I really thought that we would see arrests around the 1 year mark. The 1 year mark was June 15th. We're now almost to August. Still no arrest, even though Jodeci Brown did a whole bunch of this, which I'm hoping leads to something. But Synthia, hi, how are you? Jess, did you know that Troy has a pilot's license? I wonder if they used his plane to fly Dylan out to somewhere. I don't know, Synthia. But what I do think is that Dylan was most likely moved out of that area quickly. I know that I don't follow a lot of psychics or tarot readers on YouTube, but there's certain ones that I do, which would be Donna, and then I also follow Willow, Above and Beyond Ancestries. They both have said that, like, he's sort of close to the property. So Donna is just insanely, eerily accurate. I laugh because it's awkward for me. Like, it's just not awkward that Donna's awkward. It's just it's crazy, basically, how weirdly accurate she's been. So I think that Dylan was taken out of there. I really do, but they are saying otherwise. I feel like we are going to have some sort of conclusion to this case. So it'll be interesting to sort of see what happens. Is there any sound issues? Are you guys having any trouble hearing me? I'm just asking. Okay.
One thing
they're not in here anymore, so no, not at this point.
Back to the question on Troy and a pilot's license. Do we know if he has an airplane? Because a lot of people have a pilot's license but don't have a plane. So You know, if he doesn't have that, then it's going to be hard for him to do that without attracting a lot of attention, because he's going to have to hire a plane or borrow a plane at that point.
Yes. I'm just looking through these comments. Heather Dominguez. Hi, Heather. I've seen you at other chats. She's saying, Jess, what did you think about the muriatic acid? Hopefully, I pronounce it right this time. Thing from the other night. Do you think they threw him in an acid drum? Synthia, if you will, speak on this. This was
Well,
Cynthia. Cynthia had looked into this and came up with this idea. And there were conversations had. So I just, Cynthia, if you would like to talk on this, I would prefer you to. You don't have
well,
to.
the other night when you were talking to Kurt, he said that he never thought that Dylan could be in that tank out there. So I'm wondering myself if that tank has been emptied or checked.
Yeah,
And there's
there
nothing
was
about
the word
that.
tank used. So, and also a confirmation that yes, that is what Dylan used. If you look that up, 7 to 20 hours to dissolve a body. So has it been a thought for myself? Absolutely. Glory, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I've used muriatic acid in cleaning rental properties. It is very caustic. It's extremely pungent. Not very pleasant to work with. You would have to get. I mean, you can buy muriatic acid in any Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. But it's you getting it that way. It's gallon jugs, and you probably attract a lot of attention if you're going and buying that much. I believe that they
Well,
don't
he
use it.
needed to buy that much because sulfuric acid or muriatic acid is what he used to neutralize that land. There is
Oh,
confirmation for that.
okay.
So that was used, and apparently, I just googled it. It comes in very large plastic drums because it can't be in steel. It's going to corrode it. And I know what you're saying, Glory. My significant other also has worked with it to clean concrete, muriatic acid. And he said he wore gloves, everything, and it ate right through the gloves instantly. He had to find a different way.
So
So
muriatic acid is the same as sulfuric acid?
I think they're different, but sort of pretty like
They're saying.
similar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not the
Similar
same,
and
but they're
how
similar.
caustic they are.
I
Yeah.
used to work with sulfuric acid when I worked as a lab technician in doing testing for, I think it was cyanide contamination in soil samples. And I got a little sulfuric acid burn on my skin permanently because a
Wow.
drop fell on it, and it's nasty stuff. It's not, if you have it at the strongest concentration, you have a little bit of time to clean it up before it does great damage.
Yeah, what I read, I've never worked with it or anything like that, so I have no personal experience with it. I just Google. But what I read on Google was within minutes, it will start to eat at the skin. There's going to be instant like reaction, pretty much. But within 7 to 20 hours, it can dissolve a human body.
Well,
And if this was what Dylan was using to neutralize that land, and he had a tank of it, One has to wonder. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the sulfuric acid that we used, it was in its most concentrated form, because then if you had a problem with it, it gave you more time to deal with it before it started to eat in. If it's diluted, then it's a lot more difficult. And that time, I would say it was probably a couple of minutes before I really started to feel the reaction on my skin from the drop of sulfuric acid.
If you know, I'm not a farmer. I keep saying that. I'm not knowledgeable in farming. Glory, I think probably out of me, you and Cynthia, you would have the most knowledge about that. Maybe, but I know how to go grow plants. I'm really good with that, but I'm not a farmer. So if if someone was to use that to neutralize a land and they had it in a tank, um, would it have to be a plastic tank? Because that's sort of what I read. Or would they have to just use it quickly?
I think that it can be a metal tank. It's going to be the organic material that's going to, it's probably that your metal tank is going to be lined with a plastic, just like your soda pop can is lined with a plastic. And if that plastic were damaged that lines the inside of the can, the can becomes unstable really fast and is compromised. I remember them showing us that in a science class in college. So
Colleen is asking, does it come in a powder or pellet form also? I do not know the answer to that question.
liquid. It's liquid.
It's liquid? Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
I think like what I read on it, I didn't see anything of that nature, Colleen. And again, you can Google, but I'm gonna trust Glory's thing. So we continue to have a troll under the name Jody Sue Brown. Jody Sue Brown's imposter is now telling me your PU blank blank Y needs to be lined with plastic. I'm not going to.
You don't see that message on it?
Yeah, but I'm not going to disagree because I don't want to have any more kids. So line it up. Line it all up.
Lynette, do you see that message in private?
Trolls are going to troll. It's what they do. They love it. So whatever. But either
How
way,
are they still commenting in private chat though? I'm confused.
well, because I put the link. I don't know. They're doing what they do. But either way,
maybe we should remove the link.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't have to let them up. They could just private chat and say a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah, but can't they see
waste
our
their
messages
time and whatever they're doing? I don't really care. I'd rather talk about this. Midwest Crappy Man. Farming application, it would come in a 55-gallon plastic barrel or 270-gallon plastic tote protected by aluminum cage. Thank you for that information. A 270-gallon plastic tote. Cynthia, refresh the memory. How much land was Dylan farming? Because he was sectioning it off. He wasn't doing. He had 640 acres. He was not doing that. He couldn't afford to do that. He was still working with other farmers to fund his own farm. So he was farming that section of land that was, the water was ran to it. But I don't remember exactly how much that was.
I haven't looked at it in a while. Off the top of my head, maybe like a sixth of the land.
Okay. Glory,
I
do you
think
know?
I think Kurt said last night he was on salty pancakes, and I think he was saying that he could do 4 pivots on his 640 acres. So, roughly a quarter.
I'm gonna have to address somebody real quick. Unfortunately, there's always one. There's
Kurt
always
did
one that
mention a
loves to,
tote,
that
by the
loves to
way.
ruin the chat and the conversation. Jefferson. Jefferson's the one with the gun, the AR-15. He's an amosexual. Like, who else doesn't own guns? I own guns. Cynthia, I don't know if you own guns. You probably do. Glory, you probably own guns. Everybody owns guns. Like, you're not special. But either way, Jefferson is over here trying to taunt Heather. Don't back that a-hole Kurt. Jefferson, we're talking about the case. Okay? Just like how they're
Hey
saying.
Jess, do you want me to
Huh?
do you want me to send you a screenshot of the land, like so we could look at it?
Yeah, sure. Email it to me and I'll bring it up. But I'm going to
Okay.
continue to address Mr. Jefferson. So Heather, has a perfectly great Jefferson. I'm glad you are. Heather, Jefferson, not backing anyone, just want facts about Dylan Rounds and different theories. And there's nothing wrong with that, Heather. Okay. So Jefferson, here's the deal. If you want to keep on keeping on, you're going to have to go. Okay. Because we're having a good discussion here. We're talking about this case, and I really just don't feel like dealing with you. Like, I deal with enough people like you. So I just don't feel like it tonight. If I was in a better mood, I might be able to deal with you, but not tonight. So now, Allie, just ignore, not read aloud or give attention. I imagine what they seek. Of course they do. And just text each other private. No, I'm not doing a lot of texting. Allie, and I'm not saying that you don't have a bad suggestion. It's just that I'm in a discussion right now. So to have these ridiculous private chats, Jefferson in here telling people what to do. Jefferson, why do you think you can tell people what to do? Why do you think you can tell people what horse to back? Is there any other horse, Jefferson, besides Dylan, that anyone should be backing? You answer that question. Answer the question. What horse? Who should people be backing? It's Dylan Rounds. That's it. So you say one more thing, and I will block you permanently from my channel. I do not have the time or patience for this nonsense. We are talking about a 19-year-old missing young man. Synthia, did you send that through email?
I'm sending it right now.
Okay.
Back to the issue of acid, I remember that if you follow historic true crime, H.H. Holmes, the murder hotel guy with the Chicago World's Fair, he confessed to a lot of murders. So they say he may have hundreds. He may have only killed a dozen. It's hard to know because he seemed to like to take credit for things, and some of the people ended up being alive. But he supposedly had vats down in the basement of the murder castle, which he was dissolving bodies in. I've heard that's been debunked, but it could have given people some ideas about about using that. So
Yeah, it's not. It's just people have committed these crimes prior. They have literally put people. If you want to go back more recent times with putting people in tanks or things like that, horrendous crime. Chris Watts, putting both of his baby girls, um, into oil tankers. So, people do these sorts of things. Why? I don't know. That's why I take behavioral science. That's why I want to get my degree in that. But people do wacky things. So, Cynthia, are you back up?
Can you repeat that?
Oh,
I can't
I
hear you.
said are you
It keeps
back
cutting
up?
out on my end.
No, I'm just, I'm looking at the email that you just sent with the lands. With
The
Dylan.
part that I circled is the part that he was using.
All right, I'm just saving it to my email. All right, let me just see if I can bring that up real quick. Oh,
That is from Google Earth, though, and someone said that there are more recent pictures that show that a different part that he was using, but I'm not too sure about that myself. I think it was Black Dove that said it.
did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Just hang on a second. I'm about to share my screen so we can all just take a gander at it. Let me just pull this up real quick. It still just makes me like really weirdly sad. Just I don't know, man. This case just kills me. Something just about it. Uh, so this would be Dylan's farm.
Yeah, see, the
Cynthia,
part he was cultivating was really small in
yeah,
comparison.
so
It was
you
about
see, yeah, for him to own 640 acres, I was about to say something about that, but this is clearly not that. And that's in line with what Kurt was saying, that he was doing this smaller area, and then working for other farmers, to sort of expand his own area. So this kid really was, he was trying, he was doing what he could do to get where he wanted to get. Anyone? No one? Okay. Cynthia? No?
I can't. It keeps cutting out. You keep cutting out, so I can't really hear you. So if you asked a
I,
question, I'm sorry.
Glory, can you see this?
yes,
What do you think about that? It really is a small area.
yeah.
Small to compared to what he has in acreages. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that the suggestion there maybe it was like a 6 probably isn't too far off.
yeah. Cynthia, can you hear me better or no?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay. Yeah, I was just seeing if you wanted to say something. on that or not?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a fairly small piece of land, but Kurt did also mention a tote though. So that's like a bigger thing than a barrel, correct?
Well, he actually said tank.
Well, he said tank too, but I swear I heard him say tote. I might be wrong, but
Tank, tote. I mean, to me, I put like Christmas decorations in totes. A tank, I might, I don't know. I would put a lot of crap in there. But so to me, those are two really different things. To someone that farms, it might be something similar. Glory, can you talk on that or no? Tote,
Oh,
tank, is there a difference?
I've got a plastic tote that you see them around Christmas time for putting your Christmas tree in, and it's probably 4 feet long and nearly 2 feet tall and about as wide. And you could put a body in one of those and fill it with acid, and that's probably going to run under $30. You have one of those. I mean, I got mine at Walmart.
Yeah, when I looked them up on, I just Googled it, and the muriatic acid, I think that was the first time I've ever pronounced it correctly. But the muriatic acid, like a 55 gallon drum, they're not super expensive, ironically. Or not to me. They just didn't seem too expensive. And I would assume for a farmer, not expensive, yeah, with their budgets or what they're looking at all. Would you think so, Gloria, or no?
Oh, sorry, my brain was wandering. Um, ask that again.
Like when I Googled them, the muriatic acid, they didn't seem like they were too pricey, really.
Probably not. If they've got farming applications, they would probably be available at places like IFA fairly cheaply.
Yeah, like I just looked up a 55 gallon drum of it. It's like $550. But I mean, if you're farming and stuff, it's you know, I don't think that would be like super expensive for them. So
ooh, this chat is getting bad.
no,
That
I,
bothers
I just
me.
I
I'm over
block.
here like bothered. Have you seen the private chat? And then there's also other. Are there any mods
Yeah,
in here?
no, I don't even think any of my mods are in here, which is fine. I mean, the chat's moving slow enough that I could just block these people. They're not really important, but Emily, what is Emily saying? Emily, hey girl, Kurt. Oh lordy, what? Wait, what?
See, that's what I was talking about. And
I
then you
didn't,
put it up.
I didn't know you were talking about that. I'll read that off screen. Kurt molested autistic who said English property. Emily, I do not know that. I'm not sure what exactly you are talking about. If you have proof of this or something of that nature, you can absolutely email me. So,
Hey, I like that
yeah,
you didn't just dismiss her. You know what I mean? Like maybe she has
yeah,
information. You never know.
yeah, I'm not. She can email me if she wants. If she has proof, if she's a troll, it'll show itself. It is what it is.
Hmm.
But like I was talking to you earlier, there's people that oops, the chat moves. It's at gmail.com. So there's my there. Oh no, that's not correct. Let me write it again. Here's my email, Emily. If you would like to email me, If you have actual information about that, we can do that there. So, Alley Cat, what was the question? I'm cleaning and didn't see. It wasn't a question. It was more statements. Emily is saying that Kurt molested a autistic 17-year-old who owns 10 acres of property, and that Kurt is a molester. So I don't know who this person is. Very well could be a troll. We've definitely had them in the private chat and in here. If this person has information to that, they're welcome to email me. It's right there in the chat. And if not, we'll just write it off as a troll. So, but it is what it is. Private chats also, a lot of trolls in here. Jimmy, what an interesting name, Jimmy. What's Jimmy saying? The kid was a effing FA whatever. Got what he needed. God hates penis whatever. And then
they made sure to send it twice, just in case we didn't see it the first time.
No, I definitely saw it. And then Jimmy also has to say, the same thing. So just God hates gay people, basically, and Dylan was gay. This is what this person is saying, in probably the most vulgar way you could ever say that. So, there's that. People from the internet. We could do a whole show on just people from the internet, really. Anyway, Rainy Joe. Oh yeah, that's she's replying to Midwest Crappie Man. Oh yeah, that's a great fishing area, I've heard. I'm in South Dakota, close to Missouri River. Well, I did not see Rainy Man's comment because of our voluptuous trolls. I need to steal. Glory, do you ever watch Dolly Vision?
I haven't. I've heard about them, but they haven't come up in my suggested videos, and so.
It's a guy.
Yeah.
Synthia, did you ever watch that video I sent you? No.
I still haven't yet. We were on the phone all day.
I know. You never do. It's so funny. But so Dolly Vision had this ingenious idea, which I love this idea. He decided to do he calls his subscribers or whatever his turtles. It's the turtle gang, right? So he decided to do this show where it was Turtle Island, but it was like a survivor of the true crime YouTube creators, right? So it's absolutely hilarious to watch. People call in, they give their votes on why they think people should be voted off, certain creators. And I think we're up to 6 or something that have been voted off the island at this point, Turtle Island. But to my surprise and dismay at the same time, this is the show that I watch to take my mind off of this stuff. So I tune in to Dolly's newest, show edition of this Turtle Island. And I think I'm maybe 5 minutes into the show or something. And some lady calls in and she goes, I want to vote off Messy Jessie. And I'm thinking in my head, who's that? I don't know. I've never heard of that creator, right? So I'm I'm waiting for her to say who this is. And Dolly looked confused. Messy Jessie, okay. And she goes, yeah, Crime Time with Jess. So I'm like, what the hell, right? I'm like, no, this lady's not trying to vote me off the island. I'm not even on the island. I was not even put on the damn island, okay? So Dolly's like, okay, why? and she says, "Oh, she's so bossy and condescending, and something else." She said, "I don't remember. Something else derogatory towards me." So Dolly, he like sits there for a minute, and he's like, "Well, she wasn't voted on for the first like 4 shows, so you can't actually vote for her." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, is there any refuge around this YouTube streets, as Glory would call them? Is there any refuge? Because I go to Turtle Island to try to get away from the nonsense, and some lady's trying to vote me off. I'm bossy and obnoxious, apparently. If you agree with that, you can go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. And if you don't, thank you. That's all I have to say. And don't try to vote me off Turtle Island again because I'm not on the damn island. So there you guys go.
You had some haters.
No
That lady
one?
was hating on you for sure.
Oh no, I thought it was hilarious. I really thought it was funny. Like it was just so funny because I was just like, oh, I'm gonna sit back and watch Dolly's Turtle Island and not think about all this heavy shit. And all of a sudden, there's my name, improperly spoken, Messy Jessie, and which is quite hilarious. And then on to, crime time with Jess. But yeah, she definitely tried to vote me off the island. I'm still not over this. Like it's a how dare you? Why am I being voted off the damn island? What did I do? What have I done? I got a little tipsy, a lot tipsy with Kurt Wadsworth. Did an impromptu interview. Is that why I'm being voted off the island? She said I was bossy. I don't know if I'm bossy. I don't think I am. I don't know. Do you think I'm bossy, Cynthia? You talk to me enough.
No, I don't think you're bossy.
I don't feel like you said that with enough conviction. Vindicate me, Cynthia. Will you vindicate me on this show right now? Am I bossy, please?
No, I don't think you're bossy. I really don't.
Thank you. Also said with a
you're outspoken. I don't think that you're bossy.
I think it's
You're very open to others having their own opinion, so that's not really bossy. A bossy person likes everyone to believe how they believe. You're not like that.
Yeah, I'm not. What do you think, Lori? Am I bossy?
Well, I think you have a little bit of an East Coast, attitude, which some people may not be used to from different parts. I don't think that's bossy. I think it's just how things are.
We're a little sassy. We have a little sass to us. In fact, speaking about East Coast, for Christmas, my old subscribers know this, but we went down to Tennessee for Christmas vacation. And we went to this place called Dick's. It's a restaurant, but they do everything that they're not supposed to do. It's like one of those places where they're like, oh, you need some napkins, and they'll literally just throw them at your face. Oh, you need some straws, they throw them on the table. Where's the bathroom? Read a sign, idiot. They really talk to you this way. And so Aubrey, they really wrote on. They make hats for everyone. Everyone gets a hat, however they perceive you. Me being my little mama bear self, I got upset because I thought the lady, she called my son a dumbass, and he's 10, and I got a little upset about it, and I said some stuff to her like, that's enough. You went too far. And the whole family's like, oh, Jazz, she's just kidding. And I'm like, no, I don't care. So she wrote on my hat that I needed to be fixed. And then she wrote on Aubrey's hat that Aubrey was a sasshole. So we have some sass over here on the East Coast, guys. We just do. Why are you guys so quiet?
I was reading comments.
No, there's no comments to read. Everybody's like, just stop talking for whatever reason. But I'm still talking, so whatever. They'll come about.
Didn't the person that tried to vote you off the island try to vote you? Didn't that occur before the Kurt call? I think it did.
No, it was
because I remember
after.
you. No, because the Kurt call, you were talking about it like right after you hung up on Kurt. Remember?
Oh, the drunken interview with Kurt or the regular one? There was which one?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the drunken one.
No, I actually no. It was even before that.
Oh, okay.
She just said I was bossy and mean, basically. Which I don't think I'm mean, but she thought I was. I guess I don't know. And then she said, and this was really funny. When Dolly said to her, you can't vote for her. She wasn't voted for in the first 4 shows. And she goes, oh, damn, I just outed myself. And I just laughed. It's pretty funny. And what I like about what Dolly does with that is that he really doesn't discriminate. Like, you could call up and actually vote for him. So, like it's just whoever, whatever true crime creator you feel like needs to get the hell off the island, you can call in and vote for him.
I have to go check this Dolly person out so I can kind of like get a feel for it, Then it might make a little bit more sense if I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, most people do like him.
You sent me the link. I'll check it out.
Yeah, he's pretty, like, when he does stuff like this, he's like really funny. Allie, what was the question? Yeah, we haven't got any more questions. We did just get peen bombed.
You got what?
You guys missed that?
Oh, I was looking on another tab at the moment.
Oh, see, that's actually hilarious that both of you missed that. Yeah, that Jimmy guy was just down here in the chat, completely naked.
Oh my!
Yeah, just showing all his goods, being an entire whore. Jimmy, why are you being a whore? Stop being a whore. Nobody wants to see you. Like, nobody's even throwing out coins here. This guy's just doing it for free.
Well,
Like, at least ask for a cheeseburger, a McDonald's meal, something. Coffee.
We need to have those cards like for gymnastics, to score the,
Well, he has no self-worth. Who doesn't even ask for a coffee before they start getting naked? He just showed us all the goods for nothing. Jesus Christ. This is why women are so much better at this. We're not that stupid. I'll never forget. This is so terrible and so eternally misogynistic. But my old neighbor told me one time, and it took me like 5 minutes to get this. Yes, there's some blonde up here somewhere. But he says to me one time, Jessica, a woman should never be broke. He was a lot older neighbor of mine. And I was like, okay, like why? Or, whatever. And he goes, all of you are sitting on a gold mine. And he said it with such indignation. Like, how dare you be sitting on this commodity of yours and be poor? So I'm looking at him like, what? I wish I was sitting on a gold mine. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then it dawned on me what he was talking about, the gold mine. It's what Jimmy just gave up to us for free. Jimmy doesn't know the value of his gold mine. I'm just saying. Just saying. But yeah. You guys are so quiet.
I'm getting tired.
I'm just roasting.
Sorry, I'm getting tired. It's late.
It is. I can't even see my screen. I really can't. It's because This little window thing is down, so I can't really see anything. So I would imagine there's not a lot of people in here because I don't see this chat moving at all. I
Let's
don't know.
see. I see 36 people I've got on the other tab, and I sometimes pop over to the other tab because my screen has gone wonky. Sometimes it resizes things, and so I can't see the all the comments and so forth. The
Oh
private
yeah,
chat.
there are a lot of comments on the other tab, like a lot. So I'm not sure if they just recently came in or.
I have no
But
idea.
I have noticed.
The last comment I'm seeing is by myself. It's my comment
Yep.
of my Gmail. That's the last comment I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this one.
If you open up YouTube, you can see the most current ones. There's a lot of questions in there, actually.
Really? I'm going to try to turn the
Yeah.
chat overlay off and turn it back on. No.
It's the same.
Hide messages from screen. Hold on. Let me see. No, yeah, it looks the same. I'm not seeing anything different. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm lagging. What I really don't know. I mean, I'll look it up on my phone just to see, but I haven't seen this chat move in like 10 minutes. So I haven't seen this chat. Oh, and it is moving. Well, that's
Yeah.
at Restream because I can't see any of these comments. Wow. Not sure what to say. I don't know why that's happening. Hang on.
There was a comment by Allie Cattails about muriatic acid. No, let's see. No, it wasn't that. It was somebody else about the muriatic acid and it being used in swimming pools. Yes, that's another good place to get it cheap.
I'm really bothered that I can't see the chat. Like, I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is when you're talking to people or trying to talk to people and I can't see what they're saying. Bit of a problem there, Restream. Let me just check the settings. I'm really not sure why that's happening.
Are the comments moving on your end, Lynette? Can you see them moving?
No, I don't see anything.
Me either. That's weird.
Let me try typing
It's
something.
only when I look on my phone that I can see it.
Okay.
I can see it in the other tab. If I open up like YouTube, I can see the chat moving there, but
yeah, like I just see
stream.
Lori say testing on my phone, but I don't see anything in chat that says that.
Yeah, it's not showing up on the screen where it says restream.
What is that? I'm trying. I don't know why this is happening, honestly. There's always some type of technical issue with something. So aggravating. I hate it. I really do. Because it's just like, I just want to see what the hell people are saying. I'm trying to talk to them. How the hell can I talk to them if I can't see what they're saying? It's annoying. I'm going to do this one more time. We're still here.
Okay, it's pretty funny over in the actual like the chat on YouTube where it's working. Someone was like, "Oh, you were mesmerized by the peak show."
Yeah, I see Allie say that. That's why I like chuckled to myself, but I was trying to fix this. So it worked, but I'm still not seeing any comments at all.
Well,
And I'm wondering
says,
why I'm over here and Glory's over here and Cynthia's over here. Like it's all jacked around and messed up. That's so weird.
well, Cat
Look,
Tails says, I hear a lot
Glory,
of
take
people
over
get
the
rid of
show, Glory.
restream. Buggy, maybe.
Take over the
Yeah.
show. There's no comments to see. Just take over the show. Me and Cynthia will sit down here in the tiny little section. Take over the show. No? Okay, what should we try? Up, is this better? Now you're atop of us. Queen Glory.
Woo-hoo! I have the power.
And look, we'll come and we'll slide up in the side of you. Oh, what's this one? Let's see what we're doing. Oh, that's okay, I guess. What do you guys think about that one?
That works.
It's fine.
Well, let's see this one. I don't know. I like this one better. Even though I feel weird being on this side, but it's okay. Like I'm not used to being on this side, so it's weird.
How did you get flipped over there? Just by moving the thing
I
down?
don't know. And the chat's still moving. And I can't see it. I have no idea why. I really don't. It's so weird. I'm going to end and restart. Do you guys want to come back or are you going to bed?
I'm going to bed.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Corey, you going to bed?
Probably not.
Probably not. Good.
Girl.
Corey's coming back. Cynthia, I'm holding this against you for the rest of the day. 24 hours.
I was going to use the excuse like we're 3 hours apart, but then I was thinking, well, it's 3 hours later where you are, so you're up later than I am.
Fine.
I can't hang.
Such a rookie. All right, I'm ending it.
Yeah, I'm in Mountain Time Zone, so it's not as late for me as it is for you guys.
Oh no, I'm on the West Coast, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, you guys are like the same. Cynthia's just being a rookie right now, Glory. She can't hang. She can't do it.
I've been a lifelong night owl. You know, that's when I come to life.
Same. All right, I'm gonna end the live stream. Cynthia, get some rest. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go relive, and Glory, I'll just bring you back up.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Cynthia. Good night.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.